Hello, friends. My name is Charmaine from Two Witch Isle, and this is a witch's cauldron. And we are continuing the series on automatic negative thoughts, those pesky ants on your brain. We covered all or nothing thoughts, we covered less than thoughts, we covered just the bad thoughts. And now we are going to cover the guilt beating ants. Oh, yeah, you know the ones. The ones where you think with words like should, must, ought, have to. Like, I have to see my parents. I have to talk to my parents. I have to be a good child. I have to. There's a lot of have tos. I should go to the gym. I should work out. I should watch what I eat. I should take better care of myself. I should drink more water. Lots of shoulds, huh? You get the gist of it, right? There's a lot of ways that this comes across in our thoughts. Motivating with guilt never works. It always backfires. And I've noticed a lot of my guilt beating ants had come from things that caregivers had said to me over the years or authority figures of some sort through the years had said something and then it's just always been there, like a repeat. What are some examples of this? I wrote some down because I was like, maybe that would help. Mm, Now, have you ever thought this or have you heard somebody say this to you before? Because it could go both ways. My struggles are my fault. I should do better. I feel guilty for taking time for myself. How about I am weak when I show emotion? I shouldn't cry in public. Ooh, okay. So you have these kind of these guilt beating thoughts, some of them shameful too. It's human nature to push back when you feel like you have to do something. It's human nature. That means it's something that is in your hard wiring as a human. And even if it's going to benefit us, we still push back against it. Like, I should eat better. Gosh, that would help me out so much. But I push back on it by buying snacks at the grocery store. If I really wanted to eat healthy, I wouldn't buy Little Debbie snack cakes, that's for sure. But here I am at the grocery store buying them. That's that pushback, that hardwire pushback. So, how do you get rid of these ants? How do you kill them? How do you squish them? How do you shoo them off? You have to change the thoughts. These thoughts that you might have, you have to change them into something else. So, if you are thinking, my struggles are my fault and I should do better. And maybe instead of saying my struggles are my fault and I should do better, you could say, I may be struggling now, but my survival rate thus far is 100%. That's pretty good. Or maybe you'll say, everyone in life struggles and I'm doing the best I can. That is changing that instead of saying, it's my fault and I should do better, you say, everyone in life struggles, just like you struggle, and you are doing the best you can. And if you tell yourself that, you'll be more apt to do the best that you can instead of pushing back on that shame or guilt that you're dishing out to yourself. If you were thinking, I feel guilty for taking time for myself, maybe instead say, I love and care for myself so I can pour from a full cup. If you want to be there for people, if you want to show empathy and compassion and be there for other people as they struggle, you have to take time out for yourself. So you shouldn't be thinking, oh, guilty for taking time for myself. You're showing yourself love and care so that you can pour from that full cup. If you are saying, I am a weak person when I show emotion and I shouldn't cry in front of people, maybe first stop telling yourself that showing emotion is weak. Showing emotion is not weak. Showing emotion is human. All you're doing is proving to other people you are human too. And trust me, I'd rather come across as human than a robot. But of course, everything in balance. I mean, if you think you're going to come across as a raving lunatic, you might want to take that quiet road. But this isn't about that. This is about those guilt and shaming thoughts, those guilt and shaming ants crawling around on your brain. How can you be a person filled with light and love if you are beating yourself up inside for things that you should or have to do? Mm, that's a hard sell. Just like, all or nothing, less than, just the bad. It's very hard to be a person of light and love or a spiritual being. You have to have these thoughts squashed. So, my challenge to you, change these thoughts into thoughts that make you feel good about yourself, about your growth, and where you are going. Steer clear of these guilt beating ants. These guilt beating ants damage you so much. Imagine all these. Now we have four different types of ants. Now imagine these four types of ants crawling around on your brain and how dark it is going to start to get. Like in my head, I picture a picture of a brain. And, we started with the one, the all or nothing ant crawling around on it. And, technically, when I started therapy, that all or nothing ant was like a gazillion of them. There were so many. The less than ants, the just the bad ants, and now the guilt beating ants. With just those four pictures of ants put over the brain, in my mind, it's already starting to cloud out some of the colorful brain picture in my mind. I guess my brain's kind of a rainbow. I know I'm weird. These are the analogies that work for me. Again, these are all tips from Dr. Daniel G. Amon's book, Your Brain is Always Listening. It's a great read if you're interested. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And until next time, light and love, friends.